Welcome to Toonami faithful viewers. I'm senior staff writer CJ Maffers, along with Daniel here, our social media manager, along with a very special guest here today.
Hello, I'm Jackie Lastra.
Thank you for taking the time to talk with us. I wanted to start off with more basic Toonami kind of questions. Were you a fan of anime and particularly Toonami back when it was like around the Cartoon Network days, or were you more new into the fandom and kind of just rediscovered how freaking awesome anime is?
I have been watching anime since I was 5. I've started with Sailor Moon, of course, and I had to get home every day at 4:30 or else I would cry. So yes, I'm very familiar with Toonami. Probably watch it even more than Cartoon Network.
That's fine. So, obviously Sailor Moon, were there any other shows that you were like, I have to make sure to get to see as well, or was it mainly just Sailor Moon? Obviously, because female protagonists, things like that. I mean, I would assume Card Captors probably snuck in, like Kids WB and stuff along those lines.
Always magical girls when I was younger. I mean, Inuyasha, that was my first crush. Had to watch that, stayed up extra late, drove my parents crazy. But yeah, but no, it's definitely more the magical girl genre is what I stuck to.
So thankfully, your voice has actually been on Toonami a couple times. I'll let Daniel take on the sword art kind of aspect of it. That's something that he really likes. But we did get to hear you a small bit with a lovable young lady, Connie, and rest in peace, obviously, with that. Did you know kind of the premise of the show where all of a sudden it was just going to be like that happens and you're like, oh no, I'm out now? Or did you like kind of expect it before you recorded?
So when I heard that they were sending out auditions, I kind of looked at just the scenario of what it was going on, and I knew that it was going to be a horror kind of dark anime. So I kind of prepared myself, and then when I was cast as Connie, I Googled Connie, and the first thing that showed up was the face that she makes when she's in the back of the car and things happen. And I'm like, oh, so that happens very soon into the series, which was actually kind of great. Not great that she died, but then I was just like, all right, so I gotta really figure out how to make these people love her and then get crushed. Love you guys.
Pretty much. So have you been able to keep up, even though you're not, obviously your character isn't around anymore, do you still keep up with The Promised Neverland or anything along those lines? Because a lot of the actors that we've talked with, they're like, oh yeah, I may catch a couple of shows. That one's usually mentioned, that they catch up even if they're not in it.
I am not caught up. I know. I don't have cable, so I can't exactly watch it. And I really want to watch the dub. I love subs. Usually I start out with the subs.
Oh, nice.
Usually, because I grew up with them. But for this one, I'm just like, there's so many people that I know that have put their hearts into this. I really want to honor them and be able to see their work.
Nice. How about Daniel now for the sword art?
Okay. How did Alex Von David and Mommy and everyone in Bang Zoom saw you as a good Selka for you to be cast in it?
Well, Selka she's so sweet and she's so wholesome, and I feel like maybe they saw that in one of the previous roles that I played, and maybe they kind of related me to her, and we're just like, yeah, she seems sweet and supportive, so we'll throw her in there. And I've had a lot of characters that have also been like very emotional, and Selka's just a big sister, and she loves Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm so sad. I just want them to be together. There's so much love.
Yeah, I do see something between those two. Of course, when she found out about Alice, she basically just ran away and pretty much got kidnapped by goblins. And then Yuji and Kirito had to go save her. One thing I noticed is that you're pretty much the two characters on Toonami. They pretty much have it rough, so to speak, so far. So. What are your favorite aspects of Selka, and what things that she learns from the whole experience?
really liked how you saw her growth a little bit in that she realized that she's not her sister and she needs to be herself and bring what is good to her to the table, and she's a great mother to all the children. She's, very supportive, and she needs to be her own person. And so I liked being able to grow with the character and kind of make her see that and find herself.
Over here, I mean, my kind of thing with Sword Art is a lot of the actors and actresses we've talked that talk about Sword Art and are a part of it, they cannot stop raving enough about Alex and the way he takes care of the actors and actresses and being able to get the best performance out of you guys. Do you feel that he does indeed do that for you, for the projects that you've worked with, that he was the director for?
Yes. Yes. In every project that I've worked with Alex, he is not going to settle for subpar. If you come in there and you're not giving it his all, or your all, he will call you out and be like, no, that breath was not exactly what that character would be doing at that point. You need to really find what it was doing. So he doesn't let you slack, but it's incredible because at the end you really see what he brings out and really makes you push yourself and be the best actor you can be.
Would you say that you're a fan of Sword Art, whether it be before you were in it or even now after that you're in it? Because your character, she's not exactly a slouch in Sword Art either, is she?
No, not at all. Actually, I've been watching Sword Art since the first season, so it was very dear to me, and I was thrilled to be able to be a part of it. I've watched this grow from when nobody really knew what it was to, wow, everyone knows what this is. So it's been yes, absolutely. I've seen all the spin-offs and all that. So I love that series.
Guess moving away a little bit from Sword Art, you're in other shows too. One of my personal favorites that we just talked about earlier, Grand Blue Fantasy. You're EO. It's kind of interesting hearing your voice now, just your normal voice, compared to what she sounds like. I don't know if Daniel, if you've seen Grand Blue, I would have loved that on Toonami personally, but I'm just really impressed by the range that you had to be able to do it. So how do you feel that not only about your vocal range to be able to match what obviously the casting director saw in you to do that, but also about the project itself, because it's really, really good. At least I think it's really good.
Thank you so much. I actually tend to play younger characters, and I'm usually really up here. But no, my normal voice is much lower, and I stick here. So I love the hyper and energetic characters, and I keep getting cast as the really bratty characters too, which is fantastic.
So you get to really play along with that.
With her and with Melty, it's both. They're just brats. They just love being spoiled, but it was great. And Grand Blue was actually the first anime that I was a part of. Thank you. So it was very dear to my heart, and it was incredible to be able to be like, oh my goodness, I'm in that, I'm doing it, I'm saying the things, and it's happening. And EO was just, I could relate to her so much.
I really wish that the game was in the US, that we didn't have to port to get it. I will say, would you have preferred a male lead, not necessarily get rid of Kyle McCarley, because I thought he did a really good job, or would you rather have the female lead, since you can play either or with that? I think that's kind of cool, wondering maybe it would have been fun if we had this character for that gender, for something along those lines. I just think it would be kind of interesting. What do you think on that?
That would be interesting. I feel like it would be interesting to have Kyle as the female character.
Or Eric.
That would be a really interesting take. I like the male as the lead in that, just because there's such a big juxtaposition between him and the female cast. And I really like how the female cast, they're not just on the side, and it's not just a harem. They actually participate and help him out and fight, and I like that strong female characters.
I know exactly what you're talking about with that. Do you have anything else to kind of want to add?
So one of your major roles you've been getting lately is voicing A-Set from AI to Somnium Files. Tell us about that.
A-Set is the new net idol. A-Set is me on a lot of caffeine.
It would have been like, what, Thursday at AM?
Oh, yes, Thursday for sure. She is hyper and she loves to sing and dance, and she's going to be part of the the Somnium Files coming out this September. But they started this incredible marketing campaign with a Twitter account, multiple Twitter's accounts for multiple characters, and weekly videos that come out. You can check them out on the Lemniscate English YouTube channel, and there's like 20 of them now, but we just aired our last one, so it's a little bittersweet, but she will be coming back. But she's fantastic, and I think you should check her out because she's a lot of fun.
Awesome. To wrap this up, besides just that, is there anything else that you'd want to tell fans to kind of check out? I know we kind of touched on Grand Blue, so Toonami fans, I definitely recommend you checking out Grand Blue Fantasy. But is there anything that recently that you want to be like, hey, you should check this out?
Well, ACET's the most recent one that I'm doing, and Shield Hero, if you haven't, yes, Rising of the Shield Hero is phenomenal. Definitely check that out if you haven't seen it. It's on Crunchyroll right now, the English and the Japanese. We're about to finish up with the English first season, so make sure you catch up because it is a great story. Other than that, if you want to find me on social media, it's at Jackie Lastra, or on Instagram, Jackie Lynn VO.
Jackie, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us, especially with it being the last day, the hecticness and everything like that. I really hope it wasn't too painful talking to both of us and things like that, and hopefully we'll hear you more Toonami shows, especially with characters who last a little longer than just one episode. I hope so. But thank you so much again. Oh my god! I wasn't
All right, we'll do it like this.
I wasn't expecting. It was a JoJo stand.